It's Sunday, April 18th, 2021. This is all about your Benjamins and your weekly mixtape and weekend review video. Welcome. Thanks for joining every week. Hope you had a great week. Let's get to the headlines that may or may not be impacting your financial plan and portfolio. And as you can see down below, if you're watching this on allaboutyourbenjamins.com, there's only a handful of articles we're going to be going over. And we're going to start first off with the economy and numbers from there. So two big numbers there showing that the economy is recovering. And we're going to pause for a second as I hook Silas up with a little bit of breakfast. Can you tell everybody hi? Hi. All right. Thank you, bud. There you go. So a couple of numbers that we're going to go over real quick. First off, retail sales jumped almost 10%. And then we also had nearly 200,000 less claims for unemployment. So numbers coming out of last year, coming into spring, having the vaccines rolling out are showing that the economy is recovering, which I think would have been to be expected. I just don't think we thought it would be as quick as it was. There's a good blog post in the mixtape that talks about how quickly the bear market of last year occurred and how quickly we recovered. And are we in a new normal when it comes to recessions and recoveries? No one's really going to know. I do think there is some merit to the argument that maybe things are changing a little bit due to the speed of technology and information being shared. If information drives the market, then we're learning new information quicker, it's getting to us faster, and investors can evaluate that, reprice things, and move things back faster. So we'll see. Obviously, the government intervention helped out a lot as well. So the good news is, what we're looking at from the economic standpoint, things are continuing to improve and look better. We got to see if these recent peaks, or I guess spikes in COVID in different areas of the country and then also in the world, if those continue to peak or spike, or if they come down a little bit, but optimistic about where things are going. And the comment there is, if you look at a lot of the headlines about, or commentary about the market and about the economy, a lot of optimism there. And sometimes when people see optimism across everybody, there's a little concern about, are we at a top, are things in a bubble? Obviously no one's going to know, and I don't know, but I would say that from my standpoint, it doesn't seem to be euphoric out there. So in the the course of the market, you have fear and panic kind of bottoms you out. You start to have some excitement, some trust, and then there's euphoria at the very top, which usually is right before a market crash or correction. There are areas of the market that look like that. I've got a game, set, match sweatshirt on. Shout out to Jack Butcher of Visualize Value. He created this as an ode to the GameStop saga that started a while back, but it's still kind of going on. Areas like that, Dogecoin in the crypto world, those types of things look bubbly. But when you look at everything, it doesn't look that way. There's another article I didn't include, but housing right now, we all know, is booming, but there are not enough homes by a large margin for the people who are looking for homes. So optimism's there. It doesn't always equate to the market doing well. If we learned anything last year, there's no reason we thought, on paper, if somebody told you what was going to happen, you would have never thought that the market would have recovered as fast as it did from March of last year to March of this year. The S&P 500 jumping 75% for one of the best 12 months returns in history. I don't think on paper you would think that's the case if COVID was still around. But the market likes to show us that we're all not as smart as we think we are. So again, this goes back to having a diversified portfolio, having a financial plan to guide all of your decisions, and also remove some of the emotion, and then just not doing anything to inflict harm on yourself. So a little bit of a rant, but I think it's important. End of the day, the economy is getting stronger, which is a good thing. The next one up on the list is that stocks ended the week on new highs. So that's a good thing as well. We won't go too deep into that, but just kind of mention that. The third article is about J&J and the discovery that there is some rare cases of clotting after the vaccine. When it first came out, it was like 6 cases of millions that were administered, but it is something that they slowed down, pulled things back. Here in Indianapolis, they were giving Johnson & Johnson out at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. You drive through, you get shot. They're using J&J, and they moved it to Moderna, I believe. So interesting to see that dynamic and how that's going to play out, and if they are able to fix anything, if they need to fix anything, or if this is just part of the risk of having a vaccine. There's always a risk when it comes to medicine. We see the commercials with all of the quick talking at the very end of all of the wonderful side effects that may come from taking a prescription, or in this case getting a vaccine. So include that as well, because obviously COVID is still big news, the vaccine is big news, and the J&J news was a little bit of a hiccup, but still looks like things are moving forward. And then finally, talked about Coinbase last week having their IPO. They did their direct listing IPO, so again, that's where they bypass the Wall Street bankers, go strictly to the market, and they had an $85 billion valuation, which is huge. So again, Coinbase is the most popular place to go buy various cryptocurrencies, everything from Bitcoin to Ethereum to Bitcoin Cash. There are lots of ones out there, but they are the ones who provide the purchasing and the selling. You can house it there. Again, best practice is to move it off of Coinbase. But if you don't know what you're doing, then maybe you leave it there. But pretty exciting to see that. Also brings more validity to the cryptocurrency market, especially Bitcoin. We'll see how all that plays out. But I think we're getting to the point now where more and more people are accepting that cryptocurrency and some of the larger ones are going to be here for the long run. The technology behind them are very important, but then the currency or the coins themselves have value as well. So I think it's to the point now where we need to accept that they are a part of things now, and then determine whether or not they have a fit in the portfolio. Don't think it's something you have to have. I also think it's something that if you want to have appropriately allocated, is not something to be afraid of either, as long as you're prepared for the wild swings. Last night, because cryptocurrencies trade throughout the night, they never stop trading. Bitcoin's down like 20% last night. Went from 62,000 to I think the lowest was 52,000 at one point. So very volatile. So again, infancy of these of stages of those coins, but having a company like Coinbase valued at 85 billion, go public, have a lot of support is a positive for that space, which I think will only become more and more talked about in a more respected way versus 2017. It was talked about in a more speculative way. Now, speculation will still live there. The Doge coin, that's the DOGE, most people say doggy, but it's Doge coin, is acting crazy right now. And the reality of it is that coin started as a joke. It was dog-e coin. It was a dog coin. It started as a joke, and here we are today, and it is having wild spikes, and a lot of people are talking about it. That's more of a speculative play, and I have no comments when it comes to that. Again, this is not investment advice. This is about education. So I will quit rambling. We've got to get ready to head off to some soccer games today. I hope you have a great week. Hope you had a great weekend. And be sure to check the mixtape down below. If you're watching this on YouTube, head to allaboutyourbenjamins.com and read the mixtape. Check out the articles there. And I'll see you all in the next episode next week. Have a great one.